Welcome back to Age of Empires 4. I'm going to be playing the Rise of Moscow campaign. I've already played this mission and two other missions, but apparently my footage didn't get saved, unfortunately. So, 1238, Moscow, rebuilding Moscow. In just a few short years, the once proud Rus principalities were razed and annexed by the Mongol invaders of the Golden Horde. But one small town would rise from the ashes, Moscow. Let's do it.
Today, Moscow is a metropolis of over 11 million people. But 800 years ago, it was a small village on the banks of the Moskva River. A modest settlement surrounded by simple wooden defenses. It gave little indication of its future greatness, or its ability to evolve through adversity. Moscow was frequently attacked and destroyed. Yet each time, it rose from the ashes, stronger and better defended. Its first real test came in 1238. This time, they faced a new enemy, the Mongols. Moscow had been largely unaware of the growing threat in Central Asia. Genghis Khan, founder of the Great Mongol Empire, had conquered most of the Asian continent. His descendants continued his work to expand the empire. His grandson, Batu Khan, led the armies of what would become known as the Golden Horde. Their goal, to extract money from principalities they conquered. One by one, states in the region, known collectively as the Rus, fell to the Golden Horde. Moscow was next. In 1238, the Mongol Golden Horde surrounded Moscow and besieged its wooden walls. It would only hold out for 5 days. Moscow burned. That could have been the end of its story, but the people of Moscow were resilient. They would not give up their home or their control of the Moskva River, an important trade route. They began to rebuild and strengthen Moscow's defenses. Yet one question remained. Would the terror return?
They would. Mongol raiders left the town of Moscow burned to the ground, but the resilient Muscovites were determined to rebuild their home, this time stronger than before. Well, we're actually going to start this particular mission with the town under attack, and we're going to need to repel some of the invaders in order to survive. Lone wolves are not much of a threat to an army, but villagers caught off guard could quickly perish. So we're playing the Rus. The Rus get a bounty system if they kill animals, and there's thresholds that give you extra gold, extra food gathering. The gold comes from the hunting lodges, so it just improves the gold collection from hunting lodges. Anyway, let's begin. 1238.
Moscow faced certain ruin as Mongol raiders burned their way through the wooden city. With no other Rus coming to their aid, it was up to the people of Moscow to drive away their attackers and beat out the flames.
All right. We're gonna cross the river.
The remaining Mongols were driven away by the tenacious Muscovites.
Okay, we're gonna have to rebuild, so I'm just gonna start doing that while also hunting. Setting up some hunting lodges. There's a lot of wolves in this map. All right, there's some stone.
Тихо. Исправляю. Исправляю, Паки. Куда? Течем.
All right, I'm thinking.
Идем. Грядем. Течем. Грядем. Идем. Готовы? Течем. Дряву.
All right, there's some there.
Заседание.
We're also gonna need more wood. That's not gonna be too much of a problem.
Слушайте.
Okay. Why is she crying like that? Yeah, what the bug? It doesn't matter. Alright. Let's get these guys going. Oh, there's some food there.
Several villagers had fled during the Mongol attack, and some were still in hiding. The fleeing villagers had taken refuge in forest hunting cabins. Here, the Muscovites could bring valuable animal pelts, which provided them a good livelihood.
Копейщицы слушаются. Наказе банда. Ида, готов, слушаемся. Поревник есть. Исполняем. Слушай, готов есть. А? Позаратай, Сонь, добро есть. Влага есть. Часа? Готов, позаратай, Сонь. Вонь, гриндонт.
With the Mongol raiders repelled and the fires extinguished, the Muscovites began rebuilding. The Muscovites knew that they could rapidly construct buildings out of wood, and so gathered what they needed from the forest. The woods surrounding Moscow provided an abundance of resources, but danger lurked within. Predators stalked in the shadows looking for an easy meal.
Жду. Строим.
Исполняем. Слушаемся. Готов есть. Часов.
Okay.
Поревницы, Сонь. Да.
Let's keep moving.
Поревницы, Сонь.
We're gonna have a bunch of wood we're gonna have a bunch of wolves to contend with.
Позаратай, Сонь. Готов есть. Свидание. Готов есть.
А? Сбираю.
Часов!
We're gonna need more.
Слушаемся. Да, да. Часов. Поражайте!
Готовы есть? Добро есть. Иду. Тихо.
Конь есть. Слушай, позоротай есть. Форец, скачок. Часов.
I don't need the deer.
Часов.
Часов. Идем. Течем.
Alright, hunting lodges more of them.
Паремницы конь есть. Направь. Позоротай соть. Часов. Конь гриндон.
Alright, my score is 340.
Готов. Слушаемся. Часов. Конь есть.
Keep moving around, finding those.
Позоротай соть. Позоротай соть.
Hunting lodges.
Паремницы соть.
There's a few.
Конь есть. Слушаемся. Исполняем. Добро есть. Позоротай соть. Победа! Конь есть.
I think there's one here.
Конь гриндон. Добро есть. Готов есть. Паремницы соть.
Well, aren't you lovely and annoying?
Добро. Часов. Добро есть.
There we go. There's one.
Часов. Позоротай соть. Исполняем.
Идите,
Паремницы соть. В сабиду. Да. Помогите!
Готовы есть. Готовы есть.
Накази, Бонду.
We're gonna get villagers on.
Паремницы соть. Часа? Позоротай соть.
Жду. Иду помалу. Часов.
Alright, there's one more structure by looks like. Ah, there we go. House.
Готов есть. Понт гриндон. Часов. Слушаемся.
The might of the Rus economy, really. I'm gonna get some villagers here because I'm gonna need them to
Строим. Паремницы соть.
construct defenses.
Тихо.
Позоротай.
Okay.
As the city rose from the ashes, the Muscovites would lay the foundations for a unique fortified complex.
Паремницы соть.
This iconic structure would be known as the Kremlin.
Часов.
Идем.
Да.
Течем.
Hmm.
Идем. Ладно есть. Добро есть. Добро есть. Идем. Ладно есть.
Часов.
Готов есть. Да.
Люди, идите.
А? Люди, идите, люди.
Паремницы соть.
Тихо. В путь.
Готов есть. Часов. Да. Да. Исполняем. Готов. Исполняем.
Alright, we're building the Kremlin.
Готов. Третьим. Заседание.
Позоротай соть. Часов.
А? Строю. Что? Это? Рождаются.
Часов. Да.
Копия. Гриндите. А? Люди. Часов. Ладно есть. Заседание.
Наказе, сонть. Иден копати.
Alright, got more than enough food for the rest of the mission. We're getting the Kremlin up to speed.
Копийщицы, готовитесь?
Вот идут. Строим.
And now we need stone.
Готовы, есмы? Куда? Люд часо.
Alright, gonna pull them back.
Люди, гриндите. Люди, напряжь. Сделаю. Зидание. Ну есть.
Возвратать? Что? Слушаемся.
So we're getting a few delays. There we go.
Люди, служите готове. Сделаю. Построено будет. Радуйся. Я построю сие. Дело есть. Я пойду туда. Иду. Начну трудитесь.
The once unassuming village of Moscow had been rebuilt as a city poised for growth. But to protect the city from further Mongol raids,
Я здесь.
it would need a fierce military and a strong defensive perimeter.
Готовы трудитесь есть.
The Muscovites knew that the terror from the steppe could return at any time.
Дело на добро есть. Сие
Remember,
мне
you have
нравится.
early nights as the
Работу сделаем сейчас.
as the
Начну
Muscovites.
трудитесь. Готов, выхожу. Работа?
Работа.
Да, сейчас сделаем. Поняла.
Well, I'm just gonna get free farms
Построено
here.
будет.
Чего делать надобно? Построено.
Чего делать надобно? Нравится.
Радуйся. Иду.
Готово есть.
Having been caught off guard by the Mongols before, the Muscovites knew they could come under attack at any moment.
Построю сие.
Strong defenses would give them a better chance of protecting their city.
Сделано добро есть. Сие мне нравится.
So we're gonna get some knights.
Готово идти. Я построю сие.
There.
Лук готов есть.
Сделано. Я здесь. Отправляюсь.
Some raids are starting.
Идите. Надобно в путь идти. Стрела на тетиве есть.
Делаю, разумею. Начну трудитесь.
Готов напряжь.
Работаешь. Я поспешу. Построено будет.
Alright. They'll keep attacking.
Напрягу. Готов. Иду. Ополчение есть.
Готово трудитесь есть. Я построю.
Войне. Надо соглашаться. Готово есть.
Сие мне нравится. Наказе будет. Исходит. Начну трудитесь.
Отцы, яко дело. Уразумех. Готов. Из птичем.
Alright, so we're gonna start getting knights. Early knights. Yeah, 3 minutes until the attack comes our way.
Лучник готов есть. Ополчение есть. Стрела на тетиве есть.
By that point, this place is gonna be so well fortified, not even Genghis Khan himself could take it.
Наказ. Стрела на тетиве есть. Приготовить. Слушай. Следую наказу. Наказ. Сделано будет.
Приготовляйтесь, всі.
Кто стреляет?
Я построю сие.
Alright, 2 farms.
Слушай наказ, Нов.
Иск, грядите.
Брать, напрежь бойни.
Стрела на сетевик.
Напрежь бойни.
Alright, so they generate 12, this one generates 12 gold. But it doesn't have the largest amount of wood next to it. This one might, I don't know.
Дело есть.
Like, none of the
Начну трудиться.
hunting cabins that I have
Брать будет.
Готовь.
Идти надо. Что есть
were built for
Напрежь поскоб. А, идти надо помалу. Что есть трудного? Жаловайтесь нельзя.
efficiency, let's
Яко
say.
угодно есть.
Делай. Люди, поскору люди. Уразумел. Люди выступают. Помогите! Построено будет!
Чего делать и надобно? Крушите головы! Бей ворога! Ворог убиен есть! Построено будет!
Pretty annoying with those wolves, actually.
Чего делать и надобно? Построить. Сделаем сейчас. Начну трудитесь.
Ну, приближайтесь боязливее. Готовим латницы. Готов. Напрежь поскоб. Славя.
More food.
Двигайся. Слушай, идти надо.
So yeah, normally the treasure chests contain
Радуйся.
Готов, если
Готовы
что
идти.
делайте.
Построено будет.
they normally contain gold on most missions. Here they contain food because food is actually useful.
Жаловайтесь. Слушай на уразумер. Слушай на
So that's group 1.
Напрежь. Слушайте все. Сделано будет.
That's gonna be group 2.
Hearing the foreboding beat of the Mongol war drums, the Muscovites braced themselves for another raid.
На казинове суть. Будем сражаться. Слушать, жаловайтесь нельзя. Готов, если...
Готово есть.
Готов, если...
Битва есть!
Приближайтесь, боязливее! Брать. Готовитесь, латницы!
Рады есть.
Бой.
Приготов.
На казису.
Я угодно есть. На казинове следовало. Латницы, слушай наказ, будем сражаться! Приготовлять граждане! Уразуметь! Напрежь бойни! Яко угодно есть. Готов? Брать будет.
Исправляйтесь.
Граждане! Напрежь пост.
Лучник приступает.
Наказен. Готов. Сделано будет. Напрежь бойни!
Меня поражают!
Брать, приближайтесь быстрее! Жалуйтесь, слушай, приготовляйтесь, сделано будет. Будем страдатися. Идти надо помалу. Что есть трудного? Брать совет. Слуг напред по скору.
Вот соглашайся!
Следуй наказам. Готовитесь, ладно.
Лодки, исправляйтесь! Стрела на тетиве есть!
Готовы будете, латницы? Напряг по скору.
Oh, that's over. Mission complete.
Так, яко угодно.
Very easy.
The Muscovites had successfully defended their newly built city against the Mongol raid. Now that Moscow could defend itself, its rulers looked to expand their influence into new territories.
Pretty easy first mission, really. I mean, you do need to... You don't have gold, and you do need it for units. The video here, you get his horse archers. I'll go over it in a second. Daniel of Moscow. In the 13th century, Moscow had fallen to the Mongol invasion and rebuilt itself from ashes. But all of the Rus principalities, Moscow was still one of the smallest and least powerful. That is until a new prince came to the throne. In 1272, saw Daniel Alexandrovich, the youngest son of the Rus hero Alexander Nevsky, assume full control as Prince of Moscow. From humble beginnings, Daniel increased Moscow's influence through diplomatic alliances and strong city defenses. An exemplar for peaceful solutions, he is known only to have participated in one battle. By the end of Daniel's reign, he controlled the length of the Moskva River, igniting Moscow's ascendancy from city to state. Daniel's descendants would in turn rise to become the most powerful princes of the Rus domain, cementing Moscow's dynastic claim to rule.
Horse archers were elite troops who galloped into battle, shooting their bows from the saddle, arrow after arrow after arrow.
The key to horse archery is being able to fit an arrow to the string, draw it back, and release very, very quickly. Horse archers use a special device called a thumb ring, and this gives us a special technique to lock the arrow onto the bow and shoot.
With the thumb draw, the arrow is placed on the right-hand side of the bow. And so taking an arrow from the quiver and onto the string was extremely efficient, allowing horse archers to shoot in rapid succession.
The three main shots are the forward shot, the side shot, and the back shot, also called the Parthian shot.
Both Moscow and the Mongols had a horse archery tradition that stretched back for centuries. Their armies were well matched with these light and versatile troops, and their conflicts were characterized by the horse archers' fluid style of warfare. Horse archers were famed for their surprise attacks. In Moscow's armies, they could be deployed rapidly in many different terrains, and then appear as if from nowhere. In addition to being expert with their bows, they used both javelins and swords for close-quarter fighting. Attacks could come from any side, so horse archers had to shoot both left and right-handed. Shots taken behind the head offered additional variety in the angles of attack. They were also expert at swarming across an enemy's front to decimate his lines. They were quick to retreat and just as quick to renew their attacks. archers were Moscow's crack troops. They patrolled the borders and held them against invaders.
Yeah, and the problem is that no video game has ever really done horse archers very well. Like, take the example that we have in this game. The Mangadai can hit and run, as they show it there, but not the Rus horse archers, I think. I mean, at least that's been the case. And the thing is, many people are not going to bother with horse archers in an Age game. I mean, if you're playing the Huns, for instance, in H2, yeah, you would, or the Mangadai in H2, yes. But here the problem is that against regular archers will beat the crap out of you. I mean, horse archers are more expensive. They're also very, very vulnerable. You can mass regular archers and they will beat horse archers. And that's not something that happened as much from a historical standpoint, because big fucking surprise, shooting a target that's moving while it's shooting at you isn't the easiest thing in the world. But this is something video games have never managed to do very well. Like in Total War, they're also too vulnerable and a mess to control. Here they're not so difficult to control because smaller unit scale and all that. But the problem is they're just not as effective as they could be. Now, of course, horse archers were never frontline troops. They would hit and run, with some exceptions, some battles where they did stand their ground. The problem with AI in each game is that they're not really taking advantage of it. I mean, actually, I'm gonna go and check something. My interest is, okay, so they're not from that. They're from an archer range, aren't they? Highly mobile. Okay. So, high mobility. Well, we're not seeing that. Actually, where are... We have cross... Ah, there we go. There's the Streltsy. I was wondering a bit about that. So, let's see if on the Mongol side they're actually talking about this. Yeah. So, the Rus horse archers, they can shoot while moving. The Mongol Mangadai can. They're still a gold cost, not a very significant one to be clear, but still they cost gold. The Rus ones don't, so they're more of a trash unit. That's actually an interesting point. So they're weaker because they don't have the ability to shoot while moving, but they're also cheap. So maybe they would actually be worth it. I mean, the problem with horse archers, like the problem with the Mangadai, is they don't have better stats than regular archers. The issue is, it doesn't matter because they might have better stats. The regular archers will just, you can get those easier. Whereas with Rus horse archers, it might actually be worth getting them. I'm not sure about the stats. I mean, I've played several missions here in the Rus campaign, free missions. I haven't actually gotten horse archers yet. But anyway, Kostinir signing out. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and enable notifications. And oh, yeah, hold on. No, that's a different mission. That's from the trivia mission. Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned for more.